What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. It's June 20th. We're approaching 11 a.m. Wild, crazy day in the markets today. Wild day. FOMO for sure is here in the markets. We got a lot to talk about, so much. I wasn't here yesterday, so yesterday I missed out on MLNT. It always plays out like that. Anytime I decide to take a day off in the market, it seems like every single time I take a day off, something really big explodes in the market and a stock just goes supernova parabolic. And I missed MLNT. This thing lit the party off yesterday. And it's like I've said in my previous videos. What did we see Monday and Tuesday? We didn't really see too much going on in small cap land. It was really light volume. Tuesday, I even left out early because there was like no volume. Stuff was popping up and falling back down. And like I said in my previous videos, all you need is that one stock to just explode to the upside. And then that's when volume will come back into small caps and FOMO will be everywhere. And that's what happened today. There was just so much going on pre-market, and right at the bell, so many stocks were just exploding and taking off. We're going to go over all that stuff. MLNT yesterday going from $2 opening up all the way up at 460 and then grinding all the way up to 723, gapping up today pre-market to $8, and then so far today has just been selling off. This morning, the S&P 500 gaps up. Futures were all up. S&P 500 gaps up to all-time new highs. Really, really wild move here on the SPY. Since this rebound right here. All of May, we all know how bad May was with this bad pullback right here. All the way down to the 300-day moving average. From this 274 level, 275 level, just bounces all the way back up to new highs. So far today, it's just been selling off. But it seemed like the first hour of the day, when the market opened up, everything was popping off and just running huge. We had PHUN running into a halt. There was like 6 or 7 stocks on my watch list. In a way, it was overwhelming, and I was only really focusing on 2 stocks. Let me get this chart back so I can get my watch list back. I was focusing on DMAC, and I was focusing on MLNT was the other one I was focusing on. So let's break all this stuff down and go over it. Real quick, KERN yesterday went from $20 all the way to a high of almost $50. Today gapped up all the way to a high of $80. I'm sorry. Yesterday it topped out at 80, and then today it opened up at around 67. Look at this move yesterday. Just grinded all the way up. Opened up here at $20.50. Popped up to 26. Back down to 20. And look at that right there. When it popped up here to $26 and sold back down, that mental level, that big mental level, $10. Bounced at that whole dollar, $10, $20 level. And from 20, bounced all the way back up to 26. Back down to the VWAP, grinded all the way back up to 30. back down to the VWAP. Then lunch hours, you see how it just consolidated all right here. And then at the end of the day, power hour from 26, this just ramped all the way up to 44, pulled back to this 38 level, and then going into the close, ramped all the way up to $50. And then going into after hours, that's when things could really get volatile. This thing moved all the way up to $80. Today, this was on watch for me just to see what it would do. And it opened up. Look at the range on this thing. Opening up at 65, ripping down to 60, ripping up to $72, and then selling off all the way down to $52. You know, if you're going in large on a stock with a range like that, it could really, really, really destroy your account. From 61 all the way up to 73. That's an $11 rip to the upside. And then from 73 all the way down to $52. That's a $20 sell-off right there. So if you were going crazy and going large with that, 1,000 shares, and you got caught in that death candle, that's a $20,000 loss. That's crazy. That's why when stocks are really, really volatile like this and they're skipping dollars at a time, you can't go balls to the wall. You gotta take a step back, let the stock, you don't want to trade randomness. And right at the market open, you see how volatile this is. Moving $10, $20 at a time. A little 50 shares could make you a lot of money. You don't need to go balls to the wall like I always say and go all in chasing this, and then it gets a big death candle from 72 all the way down to $52. That could really put you in debt and destroy your account. But then after it touched here at $52, it came right back up to 64, and from 64 it just fell apart, dropping all the way down, and it's now made a low on the day at $33, grinding its way back on up to $41. This is a wild chart right here. Very, very wild. MLNT having some sell-off today. Gapped up to a pre-market high of $8.20. Opened right at the 750 level. Drops all the way down to the 650 level. I traded this right at this break right here of $7. This slowly made lower highs. Nice little wedge right there at 650. You know how I like playing at my mental levels. I love looking for stocks at 650 whole dollar levels. If it's setting up a pattern at those mental levels, that to me, for as a trader, that's gold for me. So this sets up a descending wedge all the way down to the 650 level right here. Moves on up to almost 7, breaks through 7, and surges up to 730 right there. I got in here at 683, and I sold at the pop surge right here. I sold it at like 715, so I didn't even ride this full surge all the way up. And then it just consolidated right here, and I said it in the Discord. Watch for this thing to probably have a death candle to the downside, because it just didn't show strength after it broke out from this descending wedge right here and topped out. And look what happened. From 730, surged all the way back down to 670s, and then sidestepped its way down to 650s, and then surged all the way down to $6. $6 back up to $6.40, and then surged all the way down to $5.60, and then surges all the way down to $5. EDSA was the next one on watch this morning, gapping up from $4.22 all the way up to a pre-market high of almost $13. So this is a biotech stock, and it got the FDA's go-ahead for skin disease study. This was setting up a nice little wedge right here from the open. Very nice wedge, but you could see the wedge, it broke to the upside from this 12 to 12.25, but then quickly failed and just soared all the way down to 10.25 and ran into a halt. This thing is wild. This thing was, a lot of eyes were on this today for sure, I know that. Let me zoom out a little bit. So from $11 right at the end of this wedge, it popped up to $12.30 and then sold all the way down to $10. Ouch. That's a $2 drop right there within a minute, and then just ran into a halt. And then from that $10 level, you see how this $10 now is acting as resistance on it, and it's been bouncing off this $8.65 level and $9. People are just losing interest in it, and it's just probably slowly going to decline as the day goes on. This may see an end of the day pop, but the more this fails, the more longs are just going to lose interest in it. If a stock's not running and producing, they're not going to chase after it or pay attention to it. ESV getting a nice grind so far today from 750s all the way up to 825. CVM, nice just rip from 675 all the way up to 755. Pulls back from 750s all the way down to almost $7 here and rips right back up to 750. And since then, it's just been slowly making lower highs and lower lows. There's so much going on right now. And then OPTT, a recent runner in the past, was gapping up this morning. This is a low float. You see here, right before the open, this formed a wedge right here at around this 250 level. And market opens from this 250 level, it surged all the way down to this 225 level, and then formed another wedge right here. From 225, started making higher lows and surged all the way up to 250, topped out. People lost interest in it. Now it's slowly just dying off as the day goes on. There's so much going on. You got volume everywhere. Also, PHUN. PHUN, just a pump and dump. I think I've seen Deckmore Trades talking about this. Going from 350, surging up into a halt at 467. Opening back up at 480. Surging up to 525, running into another halt. And then opening back up at 550, and then surging down to $5 into a halt, opening back up at 475, surging down, running into another halt at $4.26, and then opening back up here at $4. And since then, from 4 up to 4:30, this thing's just a halt fest. Getting halted right there, opening there, running up to there, getting halted, opening up there, surging down into a halt, opening up there, surging down into a halt, and then opening right there. And then since then has just been in that range. This is just an ugly looking chart. You can clearly see, and take a picture of this, save it for your records. This is a pump and dump chart, straight up. From 350s all the way to a high of 550. This chat room just straight up used and abused this low float stock here. You see it all the time. ATAI, nice multi-day run from $2 all the way up to $3 today. Slow grind, no volume really at all right here yesterday, but from 2 all the way up to 250. This when people do their screeners at the end of the day, you always look at these stocks the next day for continuation, and that's what happened. You could see all this volume today compared to yesterday, and just got it from the open. Just a nice grind from 250s, grinded all the way up to almost $3. We talked about ESV. We have like 7 IPOs opening and dropping today. AKRO is opening today. DRMT is opening today. GO is opening. PRVL is opening. PSNL and BCEL just opened. This opened at $20 and has just been selling off, and it's currently at $16.50 now. And then we also have the popular Slack opening today, and that's going under the ticker symbol WORX. United States Gas having a big sell-off from this 1955 area, surges all the way down to 1865. United States Oil, drip. 1 second. There's just so much going on today. My brain's like scrambled eggs. I haven't seen it this crazy in a long time. A long time. UCO. Gas is getting a nice pop today with a nice gap up from $17. Opens up just above 18. Consolidates right here at 18.10. And then just gets a nice surge all the way up to almost $19. And if I bring over the daily here, with that gap up, it just broke away from its range, and it gapped and ran. That's a strategy people like to look for. But look at right where this topped out at. Right at that gap fill. Right there. So a lot of times with stocks and even ETFs and stocks in the market, when you look at them on charts, whenever there's a gap in the chart, that's an error in the chart. And when a stock comes back to that gap, it tries to fill. Not all the time, but most of the time, you'll see a stock try to attempt and fill the gap in the chart to erase the error. So UCO gets a gap up and starts moving its way on up, and it touched the top or the bottom of this gap candle right here. Hopefully you guys are all having a great day today. Green on the week. Let me take a drink real fast. A lot of talking. DMAC. We'll go over this real quick. This was another trade that I took today. Getting a nice gap up from 380 all the way to a high pre-market of 580. Came right back down to this mental level of $5. Right here. Right at $5. And this is why I'm a fan of these mental levels. So let me draw out some lines here for us. 550. We'll put a nice line down on this. And it topped out right there. Alright, so this opens up right here at $5. From 5, it ran all the way up to 590. So it put its range in for us. We see that it has a dollar range, and then it sells all the way back down, and look at right where it bounced at. Right where it opened at $5. This would have been a nice play for a good scalp. Bounced right there at $5, popped right up to 550, a mental level. Nice 50-cent scalp right there, all within 4 minutes. Pulls all the way back down. Have patience. Wait for it. Wait for it. Look at right where it bounced again. $5. And also, look what it formed. It formed a rounding bottom right here at that $5 level. So I missed all this right here. When it started forming this rounding bottom at $5 and started to move its way on up, moves up to this 515 level, pulls back a little bit, and then starts grinding up to the VWAP right there. That's where I took my position, and from 515, this surged up to 540. I took half my position off, got a pullback, and then it pops right here up to 570. And this is where I messed up as a trader. I got greedy. I didn't lock in my other half, and this pulled all the way back to 520. Now I'm a bag holder. I'm holding it and holding it. This is getting tighter and tighter, and then it surges all the way back down to this $5 level. And I took some slippage right there, all because I got greedy and didn't lock in 100% of my profits on that pop right there. That's what happens when you don't stick to your plan. You get greedy. You always got to lock in profits when you have them. You're never guaranteed those profits until you lock them in. And look what happened. From $5, surged all the way down to 580, then comes back up. That $5 level is now resistance, and then it grinded all the way down to 480. Just like that, it's up, you're up in profit, and then next thing you know, you don't get another chance at it, and it's making new day lows. I think by the time I sold it right here, I got caught in that death candle right there, and I got out at like 508, I believe. So I was only able to walk away with like $50 in profit on this. I didn't go big on this because I already took profit on MLNT when I played this one. So whenever I make my first trade and I'm profitable on it, I always want to protect my profits. So if I trade again, I'm always going to reduce my size. That way, if the trade doesn't work out, it won't destroy my profits and eat into my profits. But I totally messed up on DMAC here. This was an A+ trade. The only thing that got in the way with this was greed. So I got to learn from this and move on. I can't let this stick on my mind. This is what we do as traders, and this is how we get better as traders. We learn from our mistakes, and we try to never repeat those mistakes again and move on. That's twice now this week, guys, that greed has bit me in the butt. What happened Monday? Monday, I was up in profit on CTRV. I didn't lock it in a blink of an eye, I was red, and I had to cut it for a loss. So twice this week, greed has bit me in the butt. So big learning lesson from that. So hopefully you guys were able to learn from my mistake on CTRV and then now DMAC, so you guys don't have to make that mistake. And it could really mess with your emotions if you're up in profit and you get greedy and then you turn that profit into a loser. Oh, that's when revenge trading can start coming and you could really destroy your account. It's all mental. That's all it is. But like I said, draw your lines out on DMAC just like I did. Take screenshots of the chart. This was an A+ setup today on this stock. Right at that mental level, $5 support right here. You had opportunities on this thing 3 times, all within the first hour of the day, right there. 3 opportunities at $5. Right here at the open, from 5 all the way up to almost 6, there could have been a dollar profit trade right there. Came all the way back down, basic support, $5, popped up 50 cents. Another nice possible scalp there for 50 cents. Pulls slowly all the way back down to $5 and then surges all the way up to 570. So all in total, the first hour of the day, just one stock you could have traded 3 times with the possibility of profit of, what is that, like $2.50 in 3 trades. 1,000 shares with those 3 trades, that's $2,500, all within the first hour of the day. Most people have to work 2.5 weeks for that, and you could have made that in just one trade in 1 hour. That's the possibilities, and that's what's great about a trader or trading in the markets. And this is just one stock, like I said. And look at how many stocks I've mentioned so far today. DMAC, PHUN, CDE, CVM, STOK, MLNT, KERN, EDSA, ESV, ATAI, OPTT, all these stocks, not BCEL, but it just goes to show you. Also NETE. Out of all those stocks, all you really need is one and just zero in on one. And if you see something you like, zero in on that stock and focus on it. I know it can get overwhelming as a trader if you got like 10, 15, 20 stocks popping all off at the same time. You just got to be patient, take a step back, and Just really try to pick which ones you think are going to be the healthiest ones and just zero in on those stocks and just follow them. CIFS popping off as well. See right here, right at the open, there's like no volume going in on this the first 45 minutes. And then volume starts to pick up right here. Moves its way on up to this $2 level almost. Volume comes in, then surges over $2 all the way up to I'm going to say 225. Pulls back, gets tighter and tighter and tighter right there, and then surges up from 210, runs all the way up to 240. There's a lot going on today. Even after this recap, I'm still probably going to be adding stocks to the stock watch list just to track them and see how stuff sets up for tomorrow. Tomorrow could be a good day. Tomorrow we could go out with a bang, but what I'm seeing right now, a lot of these stocks were hot like the first hour, but then since then, a lot of them has fallen apart. Even VUZI, forgot about that one. VUZI had a nice grind up this morning from 450 all the way up to almost $5. This stock has been a sleeper the past few weeks. This one's more of a slow grinder, like I said, but this thing has been pushing to the upside. Look at the daily on it. The past few weeks from this $2 level way down here ran all the way up and now is hitting $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In 9 days from $2 up to $5. Take a look at Tesla. This thing. See, there's a lot going on in the markets right now. Tesla was just recently at $380 and it just hit a bottom at $180. So much is going on. This is going to be a busy weekend for studying for sure. Let's take a look at Snap real quick. Had that big surge up to 15 from 14. And you've seen since then, after that big surge, yesterday it just consolidated right here from 1440 to 1480. Nice little gap up today. Touches $15 again. Same price it did from Wednesday. And it is now selling back down into its range. Also BYND. Look at that, just big squeeze from 155 up to 200, and then it comes right back down to 160. 160 to 175. This has been in a nice range. Right here. You can see it clear as day. Very violent moves up and down. But I'm excited for Snap or Slack to start opening and trading. This is looking to open at $30 or $34. But this is a big IPO. A lot of people are going to be looking at this IPO. And then AKRO just opened as well. Opened here at 16, popped up to 17, and is now running down to 16. But I hope you guys are all having a great trading day. Leave comments down below of what you guys traded today. See, I got all these indicators going off like on Market Watch on my phone. And it's saying like leading economic indicators hint at a slowing US economy. Mortgage rates hold near recent lows, but can they still fall from there? And we got the overall market hitting all-time new highs. There's a lot blowing up today. FOMOs are in the markets for sure. So you got to be careful as a trader when FOMO's in the markets. Because when there's greed in the markets, which what we've seen today, the smart money is selling into all that greed. And you could see a lot of crazy stuff happen in volatile times like this. So don't be like those sheep and just chase anything that runs. Always have a plan and stick to your plan as a trader, and try to only focus on one stock at a time. Don't be that type of trader where you're trying to look at and trade 6 to 10 different stocks. There's no way, no way you could do that. Me, I right at the open every day, I always try to pick out at least 3 stocks. 3. There could be 15 or 20 stocks that are hot and popping pre-market. Out of all those 20 stocks, I'll go through them before the open and I'll pick out the 3 that I think have potential and that I want to track. I post one right here with my level 2 in times and sales. And then my other ones I have on my other monitor like this with a times and sales and level 2 right beside them. And I'll watch them for the first 10-15 minutes. And if they don't present anything to me that I like, then from there I'll start going through my watch list, seeing if there's anything that's setting up of the other ones that I've missed or didn't want to watch. And I'll give you guys a little tip. Create a watch list for every single day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That way over the weekend you can go back and you can easily see, all right, what's everything that popped off Monday. On Monday, everything that popped off or caught my eye, I'm going to add it to the list. Same thing goes for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then from there, I can dig more into it. And then if I really like it going into the next week, I'll add it to my weekly watch list. And just keep everything in order and always try to go back throughout the day and check on all of them real quick. Just run through the charts. See how they're all setting up. PUYI looked to have a nice pop today. But run through them, see how they're setting up, because in the markets, volume is always moving on to what's the newest, hottest thing. And they'll forget about the stock that ran and was the chick of the day 4 days ago, when something like PUYI was really, really hot 5 days ago when it ran from 630 all the way up to 880. Then the days following, people forget about it, it retraces, and it pulls right back to about the midpoint of its first day, and that's when you could see a nice rubber band play, and it'll pop right off that midpoint of that first green day, and from 725 rips all the way up to 825. Nice dollar. That's easy money in the market right there. Because like I said, volume's always moving on to the bigger and best thing. But PUYI was just an example. But I think that's gonna about wrap it up. If you guys have any questions, and like I said, hopefully you guys are all having a great trading week so far. I've made my profit. I'm done for the day. I went from red on the week on Monday. I didn't trade Tuesday. Yesterday I was off from the market. I wasn't here at all. And then today I came in, made back what I lost Monday, and was able to profit a little bit more. So going into Friday now, I'm done trading for the day. Let's try to end it with a bang on Friday. On Fridays, I don't look to force trades because Fridays can be iffy. Fridays could either something, I'm always here Fridays because something special could always happen, but most of the time you'll see a morning pop on Friday and the rest of the day will just sell off because traders call it an early week and everything just dies off. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to go through the screeners here and see if there's anything else that I like. I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of every stock that popped off today. There was a lot of FOMO in the markets this morning. Hopefully you guys were able to keep safe out there, bring in that profit, and remember, always lock in that profit when you have it. You're never guaranteed that profit until you lock it in. Don't be like me and have a winner on DAMC. Get greedy with it. Don't lock in the profits and then have it come back and then sell it with slippage and then eat into your profit that you locked in on your first half. But that's the point of these recaps every day, to learn from a trader's mistakes so you don't repeat those mistakes. Always try to learn from as many traders as you guys can. Every trader in the markets offers something different. Don't be like that one guy. Buy the dip, sell the rip. That's a little joke for you guys out there. That guy teaches so many bad practices, it's unreal. But alright guys, until next time, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study as always. Later everybody.